English Rise Podcast.
Easy listening and speaking practice. Have you ever felt afraid to talk to someone who knows more than you, so you just stay quiet? Or felt nervous about a job interview because you're not confident in your English or your answers? Or even felt scared speaking in front of people and your mind suddenly goes blank? If that sounds like you, this episode is for you, because many people feel this way. Fear shows up in different moments of our life, in speaking, in work, and in public situations. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about it and how you can slowly start moving past it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the English Rise Podcast, easy English listening practice to help you build fluency, confidence, and real-life understanding. Let us start with one very common fear: speaking to people who know more than you. Maybe it is a teacher, a manager, a doctor, a senior coworker, or someone you respect a lot. Your mind may say, "They are smarter than me," or "I will sound foolish," or "they will see my mistakes." And because of that, your mouth closes before your heart even gets a chance to speak. This fear can feel very strong because you do not only feel shy, you feel smaller. You may think the other person has all the power, all the answers, and all the confidence. But that is not really true. Most people who know more than you are not waiting to judge you. Many of them actually want to help. They want your question. They want to hear your thoughts. They want the conversation to begin. Think about a student who wants to ask a teacher for help after class. The student knows the answer is important, but the fear is louder than the need. So the student walks away, waits another day, and keeps struggling alone. Or think about a worker who needs to ask a manager a simple question, but feels embarrassed because everyone else looks so sure. These moments may look small, but they can change how a person learns and grows. One helpful idea is to remember this: speaking to someone who knows more than you is not a test of your value. It is only a moment of connection. You do not need to impress them. You only need to be clear and honest. You can say, "I need help with this," or "Can I ask a question?" Or even, "I am still learning." Those are strong words, not weak words. If you practice, the fear can become smaller. You might prepare one sentence before you speak. You might write the question down. You might breathe slowly and remind yourself, "This person may know more, but I still belong in this conversation." That sentence is important. You belong in the room. You belong in the discussion. You belong in your own learning. Today, we are talking about something very simple, but very important. Fear can make life feel too small. It can make you hide, wait, and say no to good things, even when your heart really wants to say yes. And maybe you know that feeling already. Maybe you have wanted to speak, but your voice stopped in your throat. Maybe you wanted to try, but your mind said, "No, stay safe." That feeling is more common than people think. Fear can show up in many daily moments. It can show up when you want to talk to a teacher, but you worry your English is not good enough. It can show up when you sit in a meeting and you have an idea, but you think, "What if I say it wrong?" It can show up before a date, before a phone call, before a test, or before a new job. Sometimes fear is loud. Sometimes it is quiet. But even when it is quiet, it can still control the room. There is also fear in very ordinary life moments. Maybe you want to go to a new class, but you do not know anyone there. Maybe you want to join a group chat, but you think people may not reply. Maybe you want to visit a doctor, ask for help, or speak up in a family conversation, but you feel small inside. Fear does not always come as a huge disaster. Sometimes it comes as a small excuse. Not today. Maybe later. I am too busy. I am not ready yet. A lot of fear begins with thoughts. We think, I will fail. We think, people will laugh. We think, I am not ready. We think, I should wait until I feel perfect. But here is the hard truth. If you wait to feel perfect, you may wait for a very long time. Softly, fear can sound like wisdom, but sometimes it is only a scared voice trying to keep you small. It tells you to protect yourself by staying in the same place. And when fear stays too long, life starts to shrink. You stop asking questions. You stop meeting new people. You stop trying new things. You stop sharing your ideas. You may even stop dreaming very big, because dreaming big can feel risky. That is why fear is dangerous. Not because fear is strange, fear is human, but because fear can quietly take away your chances, one by one, until you look at your life and wonder where your energy went. Let me tell you a small story. A woman named Sarah had an interview for a new job. She was talented and she worked very hard, but she felt nervous because she had to speak in English. On the day of the interview, her hands were cold. Her mind was full of questions. What if I forget a word? What if they do not understand me? What if I sound weak? She almost canceled. She almost stayed home. But then she took one deep breath and said, I will go anyway. Sarah did not speak perfectly. She made a few small mistakes, but she smiled, she kept going, and she answered with honesty. After the interview, she did not feel perfect, but she felt proud. Why? Because fear did not win that day. One brave step changed how she saw herself. She learned something very important. Courage does not mean you are never scared. Courage means you move even when you are scared. Now, let us look at another example. A man named Daniel wanted to speak more in his English class. He had good ideas, but he was afraid of making a mistake in front of everyone. So, every time the teacher asked a question, he looked down. He stayed silent. He told himself, it is safer this way. But later, he realized something sad. He was learning less, connecting less, and feeling smaller. His fear was not protecting him anymore. It was keeping him away from growth. And there are many people like Daniel. A person may be afraid to post a video online. Another person may be afraid to apply for a scholarship. Someone else may be afraid to travel alone, make a new friend, or start a new hobby. These are not silly fears. They are real feelings. But the problem is not the feeling itself. The problem is when fear becomes the decision maker for your whole life. This is why fear can feel so heavy. It does not only affect one moment. It can touch your confidence, your relationships, your learning, and your future. It can make you say no to good chances. It can make your world feel narrow. And little by little, a life with many possibilities can become a life with very few moves. That is why we need to notice fear early, before it grows too strong. So, what can you do when fear shows up? First, notice it. Do not pretend it is not there. Say, I am feeling afraid right now. That simple sentence can help. Second, break the task into a small step. If speaking to one person feels hard, start with one sentence. If a big job interview feels scary, practice just the first answer. If a public talk feels huge, begin by speaking for 10 seconds, then 20. Small steps matter. Third, be kind to yourself. Do not say, I am weak. Say, I am learning. Do not say, I failed because I was afraid. Say, I was afraid, but I still moved forward. That change in language is powerful. It changes how you feel inside. And when you feel supported by your own words, it becomes easier to keep going. Sometimes we do not need a perfect plan. Sometimes we only need a gentle next step. Also, ask for help when you need it. Talk to a friend. Practice with a teacher. Read aloud alone. Record your voice. Prepare one sentence before a meeting. These are not small things in a bad way. They are smart things. They build confidence slowly. They help your body learn that fear is not the end. You can feel fear and still act. You can feel nervous and still speak. You can feel unsure and still grow. Here is another good idea. Make a fear list. Write down the thing you are afraid to do. Then write one very tiny step under it. For example, I am afraid to speak in class. Tiny step. I will ask one question after class. Or, I am afraid to call someone. Tiny step. I will write the first sentence before I call. This can make the fear feel less big and less messy. And if you fail one day, please do not call yourself a failure. A hard day does not mean a broken life. Sometimes courage looks like trying again tomorrow. Sometimes courage looks like resting, then returning. Sometimes courage looks like saying, that was hard, but I can still continue. Please give yourself that kindness. Many people are much harder on themselves than they are on anyone else. We should also talk about one more thing: fear of being judged. This fear is powerful because it touches the heart. It makes people worry about their voice, their clothes, their accent, their mistakes, their body, their choices. But the truth is, people are often thinking about themselves more than they are thinking about you. And even if someone judges you, that does not define you. Their opinion is not your identity. And please remember this: bravery is not a big movie moment. It is often quiet. It is the person who asks the question, even with a shaking voice. It is the learner who speaks one sentence in class. It is the worker who sends the email. It is the friend who tries again after a hard day. These moments may look small from the outside, but inside, they are very important. They are the moments that make life bigger. So if fear has been leading your life, I want to say this gently. You do not have to let it decide everything. You do not have to become fearless today. You only need one small, brave step. One step can change your direction. One step can open a door. One step can remind you that your life is allowed to grow. And yes, growth can feel uncomfortable, but it can also feel beautiful. Thank you for listening today. Remember, learning English takes time, and that's completely okay. Just keep going, one small step at a time. If you enjoyed this podcast, come back again and keep practicing with us. We'll keep learning together. Easy listening, better speaking, rise higher. See you in the next episode.